Dude, I fucking sat down to stream, you know. I started eating my lunch here. Got a little fucking turkey sandwich and some pretzels. Oh, I have my shirt on backwards. This is environmental storytelling right here. I have my shirt on backwards. You guys ever like start eating something and you realize like the act of eating makes your digestive system like wake up and you're like, oh, I gotta take a shit now, you know? That just happened to me right before stream started. And I'll spare the gory details, but it was a rough one. Hence why I'm 5 minutes late after starting the stream. We're going for the sub 5 today. We gotta be about it. Alright. Fuck. Alright, already off to a bad start. Oh, sorry, I missed your comment. Tiermaker's Twitter purposefully... I posted about this the other day, Jack. I'm sorry if you didn't see it. They purposefully put out tier lists that are like misleading. Like they'll show like a chart and be like, oh, this is like rated by the community. And like they'll conveniently leave out like the never played or like never seen categories, or like, you know, never had, etc. And they'll just like present it like, oh, look how it look like people think BioShock is a bad game, you know, like they'll just present the tier list like that basically. And I know it's rage bait. I know it goes beyond just like them putting out shit without thinking about it, because they said in the comments, and this is so insane. They said, there's 111,000 views on this post, but only 600 quote retweets that are mostly negative. That shows that most people do in fact agree with this list. And just like, that's so asinine and so fucking bullshit, man. Like, it's so obvious that they just want you to fucking pay attention to them. So I muted their fucking account. I put my foot down. I said, you guys fucking suck and I hate you. So yeah, fuck Tiermaker, scumbag company, get a new social media manager, suck a fucking fat cock. You know, we got no records to beat here, but that's okay. We're just gonna finish this one out. We're gonna do a manly finish, you know. We're not gonna accept defeat lying down here. And we just got to a manly finish. Don't phrase it like that. I knew I probably phrased it like that, but you know, I knew it was coming as soon as you said that. And the thing coming was you, I guess. Thank you, folks. I'll be here all week. God damn it. Okay. Dude, I've been thinking about this, and I don't really give a well, let's not say I don't give a fuck, because I'm gonna be talking about it now and being irritated about it. But like, I'm so sick of like seasonal kitties, and like I know it doesn't matter in the long run. I guess that's what I mean to say. But I'm getting so sick of like something like coming out and like having like, fuck. What am I saying? I'm so sick of anime releasing in like a season and then immediately getting like the #1 spot on Mal. You know, I feel like the top 10 used to be pretty static and used to like actually mean something. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm fucking looking at it with rose-tinted glasses, but I don't remember the top 10 being so fucking volatile when I first started posting on, or when I first started using my anime list, you know? So now it feels like there's a new top 10 or there's a new top 1, you know, there's a new #1 anime every fucking season. And it gets eventually dethroned, but I mean, some fucking still hang on, like the new Attack on Titan special that hasn't even finished airing because it's 2 episodes, not just the one, you fucking dipshits. You fucking idiots. The ending's gonna come out and you're all gonna be like, wait, this actually fucking sucks. And you gave it a fucking 10 out of 10 already. Are you fucking stupid? It hasn't finished airing. Sorry. I just remembered that shit didn't actually even finish airing yet, and people are already giving it a 10 out of 10, even though the Attack on Titan ending is one of the most like reviled manga endings of all time. So that's just gonna be tanking when it finishes. But oh, it's top 3 anime of all time, even though it hasn't finished airing. You're a fucking dumbass. You're fucking stupid. I'm not kidding though about the rating thing, bro. It hasn't finished airing. Why are you giving it a 10 out of 10? You're gonna get, at least 25% of you are gonna get to the ending and be like, wait a minute. You know? That shit's gonna be at least, it's gonna drop to an 8.5, which at this point on Mal is probably putting you like the fucking top 200, you know? I suppose the top, no, I suppose the number 3 anime of all time. It's just like annoying, you know? It's just like, it's meaningless at this point. And it's annoying because I feel like at one point the Mal charts weren't meaningless in that way. And now like the number 1 anime is Oshi no Ko, which also is another one where I think only an hour, 22 minutes of it has been released. If you consider that to be like 4 episodes out of the 11 that they had planned, it's like, okay. But like, you know, it's only 4 of the 11 episodes. Why are you giving a show a 10 out of 10 after you watch the first set of released episodes, you know? It doesn't make any sense. And I don't care how good the adaptation is. You've only seen 4 episodes of it. It could totally be shit for the next 7 episodes. You have no idea. You have no clue. I mean, if the show finishes and you watch the whole thing and you're like, oh yeah, that was a 10 out of 10 show, give it a 10 out of 10. I'm not saying you're not entitled to your own opinion. I'm just saying, like, please, like, you know, actually weigh your opinion, you know? Actually, like, think about, is your opinion actually worth that, you know? If you give out 10 out of 10s to, like, everything, then, you know, you're kind of just devaluing your opinion, which is, like, fine. You know, if you do genuinely like things that much, like, who am I to say that you can't rate things that way? But just a matter of, like, again, the Mal charts have been useless for the past probably a couple years now. Because every time a new seasonal show comes out and that immediately rises to the top, and a sequel comes out and that immediately rises to the top, even if it's not that great of an adaptation of the source material. I'm just sick of it, you know? You should be watching a good show like Back Arrow. Dude, honestly, now I'm thinking about Back Arrow, that makes me even more mad. You guys are gonna get fucking filtered by Back Arrow and then give fucking Oshi no Ko a 10 out of 10 after the first episode. And you know what, I called it. I was like, this show is actually gonna be good, and it actually was good. Honestly, I can understand why people, and I guess this kind of ties back into like the people rating seasonal anime like crazy high. Like, I can understand the hype for people, because like when you call that a show's gonna be good like that and it is good, it's just so satisfying, you know? I guess when everyone's considering that's probably gonna be good, you might not have too much of a leg to stand on. Like, Back Arrow has always been the underdog, bro. That should have had like a 6.0. That just had like below a 6.5 on Mal since it started airing, and it still has below a 6.5, but it's genuinely fucking good. Like, you're not what's the word? Like, you're not a prophet for seeing that the Oshi no Ko anime is gonna be good when it has like whatever director doing it, and it has it's already a fan favorite and everyone loves the manga, you know? Back Arrow, all I had to go on for that show was the staff and the vibes, you know? And the staff was promising, but I mean, I don't know, the current login writer is kind of a hack, and the Code Geass director hasn't really done anything all that interesting since Code Geass, so like, honestly, me calling Back Arrow being a good show was kind of it's kind of like, I fucking opened my third eye for that shit, you know? Studio Vaughn actually didn't do me wrong, like it did with the Karakuri Circus adaptation. Has Vaughn even announced anything new since then? I don't think that they have, and that kind of scares me. I think they're probably doing fine. They're probably getting work from like other studios, right? But yeah, I mean, I hope that they come out with another anime sooner than later. Because they're like genuinely a good studio. They've just been dealt like a weird hand. But they're genuinely really fucking good. Like, every show that they come out with, if it hasn't been like, it's been quality in one way or another, right? Like, the Karakuri Circus adaptation tried adapting 426 chapters into 36 episodes, and that made it suck. But for adapting 426 chapters into 36 episodes, it was pretty good. Like, it made sense, right? Like there was never, maybe there were moments where information was just gone over very quickly and you kind of got lost in the sauce as a result. But like basically everything was like structured in a way that like it made sense, right? If you broke down all the pieces. The animation was good. Voice acting was phenomenal. I guess it's usually phenomenal for most anime. You know, Studio Bone's killing it. You know, they've killed it with basically all their shows in one way or another. I was gonna say though, that reminded me of something else, but then I forgot. I forgot to actually link it together with what I was talking about. I was gonna say, I met, well, I didn't meet him, but I went to a, what's his face? Masao Maruyama, or Maruyama. That's him. I went to a panel at one of the convention, like an anime convention with him at it. And, he was just, it was basically just like showing off shows he worked on. Like it was kind of just like a look through like his whole career, which was like fun and interesting. But, and he would kind of like ramble. So like, you know, at the end when they were gonna have questions, there was only time for like literally one question. And I didn't actually get up to go ask something, but the guy who did asked him about Hajime no Ippo and said like, why, you know, why'd you like to return to that show? Or something like that. I don't even think it was that. It was like, why, maybe it was, but like, it was just something about Hajime no Ippo and how Mappa, who didn't really tend to do sequels, would return to Hajime no Ippo. And the way he phrased it made it sound like he had already like read up on this and like already knew what he was talking about, so I have no idea why he asked. So then, you know, Maruyama gave like the same answer that he usually would. And then it's like, okay, that's enough, that's all for questions. You know, I wanted to get up there and ask like why the fuck the Karakuri Circus adaptation was made the way it was. And you know, him as the producer, he would know exactly why, right? I'm just sad, you know, I didn't actually stand up and try to run to the front of the line to get that chance to ask that question. And sadly, the next day was Sunday. It was like a 2-day thing. So he'd be showing off more shows that he worked on more recently the next day. And I mean, that would include Karakuri Circus. But I was with friends. This is back like once we graduated high school. So I went with my friends and one of their parents. So, or how would you phrase that? One of their parents. The parents of one of them, I guess would be more clear. So they wanted to get back to Delaware before, you know, they didn't want to spend Sunday there and have to deal with traffic and whatever, so we left early. And that sucked, but at the same rate, I don't know if I would have actually gotten up to ask the question, so sort of a moot point. I would just be really interested to hear why it was like that, because there's not really that much information about the production since it was not that popular for the English-speaking community. I'm sure there's probably interviews out there, but they're probably locked in Japanese, and I'm nowhere near good enough at Japanese to actually decipher all that yet. I mean, maybe I could. I could probably, like, piece things together, you know, if I just look up the keywords I need. But I don't know. It's like, whatever. Maybe I'll do it somewhere down the line once I actually start working on the Karakuri Circus videos again. But yeah, no, fuck that retard. That came up there and asked about Hajime no Ippo, which is already very well documented in English, you know. I don't think anyone needed to hear about him fucking say that, you know. I feel like he was just saying that so he could be the guy to say it, you know. Oh, dude, Mappa doesn't really work on sequels all that often, huh? It's crazy. Why'd you decide to do Hajime no Ippo, huh? Fucking nice job fucking doing a one-man circle jerk, bro. Go fuck yourself. I was trying to think of a funny phrase. I don't want to say pat yourself on the back, you know. I wanted to say, like, something about circle jerking. Fuck that guy. He's a fucking asshole. He's a fraud and a phony. That's right. I'm talking to you, guy who asked a single question at the Masao Maruyama panel from Otakon 2019. Fuck you. Remember the guy at the one boxing show Q&A when we went to the anime convention in New York? who asked about the ending of the show being ambiguous. Oh yeah, dude, I remember that shit. Dude, that was that's like secondhand embarrassment though. I could see that guy just like having watched that show, having not watched the credits or whatever, like having just seen the final fight, like it cuts to black or whatever, and it's like, all right, that's the show. And then he comes to this panel and he's like, oh yeah, I remember watching that show. That show was good. And then, you know, he gets a chance to ask the question. And it's like, who ended up winning that after all, you know? And it's like, we showed it. It's like, oh. I do remember that. That was, that one's a little bit stupid on that guy's part, but it's just kind of embarrassing more so than anything. Honestly, that panel was like a little bit strange, honestly. Just like the woman who was doing the translations had like, or you know, doing the interpretation had like a bit of a weird personality, you know. And then the dude, dude, that's the thing that sucks about fucking fan interaction, is that if the fans suck, then the interaction sucks, you know. And that's just kind of a shame, but it's just the truth of the matter. Because I remember there were like people would ask weird questions too, or like they wouldn't phrase things well, especially in terms like that it has to be like interpreted, you know. So you kind of go, you have to make sure you're being clear about what you're saying. Because I remember the one person asked if there was any Western influences other than like rap music, or whatever, because the guy had already said that like, you know, rap and like stuff was kind of influential. So I was thinking like. And like the answer that they responded to that with was basically like, oh no, it's basically just rap music, or you know, it seemed like they were kind of confused about what the person was asking. And like a better question probably would have been like, were you inspired by like any films or TV shows, you know, like from the West, you know? And if not, you know, maybe like, I don't know, like what generally, like maybe like anime, right? So because I doubt we're gonna know like. The average anime fan, being the fucking goober that he is, doesn't probably know about like Japanese film or Japanese dramas. Not to say Japanese dramas would probably be on level with the film, but same idea, right? You know, so maybe just ask like, if not, like what other anime did you look to? Or like, were you inspired by, maybe? Obviously, like Cowboy Bebop, like the show kind of gives like that type of vibe, and especially with it being like 90s based, you know? I'm sure that they would have an answer to that. Oh, we got a 530 though. That was actually a pretty good run. I didn't actually comment on that, but that was pretty good. It's always a coin flip whenever you walk into a panel, you know, for a show. And you gotta well, at least with, you know, usually the really big ones will like kind of just streamline everything and there won't be like questions or anything. But you know, you always gotta, it's always iffy. These people actually have to be fucking able to speak and not make things weird or awkward. Oh my god, I remember at fucking Otakon, 2019. Trigger was just doing like a fun drawing panel, and it was generally a good vibe. Like people were asking pretty good questions usually. It was pretty fun. But some dude walked up to the fucking podium and was like, started asking about the Kyoto animation shooting, which had just, you know, happened relatively recently and was still kind of heavy on people's hearts. And it was just like, oh, what do you think you're gonna do about like upping security or like some shit like that? It was just like so fucking awkward of a thing to ask, you know, and like it just kind of brought the vibe down. And people were, it's kind of like, you know, like, well, yeah, we're definitely taking that into consideration, you know. Even though like it was like a freak accident, you know, so you don't really like it wasn't even really something that needed necessarily to be like responded to, but you know, like definitely something to consider. And it was like, yeah, it was just really fucking strange. Yeah, no, it happened. That was so baffling, and like fucking like this is what I'm talking about, where it's like when you have like a community like this that's just full like these weirdos that like, you know, you always are flipping the coin for a chance to for something like awkward as shit like that to happen. It just like ruins the fucking show for everybody. Yeah, so that was like that was very cringe inducing. I know I was cringing. And it's funny too because the artist formerly known as Digibro, who I had been looking out for that weekend because I knew that she would be you know, around, had actually gone up and asked the question after that. And like I remember she had mentioned in like a vlog or something about having gone up after that and like said like a funny thing to kind of lighten the mood. And I didn't even realize it was her. And I felt kind of silly about that, realizing it afterwards, but I did end up getting that picture with her, so it's all right. We got the Digibro picture when she was still Digibro, so everything worked out all right in the end. Actually, that's the entire reason why I ended up going to Otakon, actually. It was like kind of a last minute thing. I knew 2 of my friends were going, and I heard that artist formerly known as Digibro was going down there. So I was like, hell, I gotta show up. This is like my one chance to meet my Oshi, my Kami Oshi. Dude, and the picture I took was fucking rad too. I love that she was on top of that, where it's like I went to shake her hand, and like the fucking video where Obama's like telling the doctor to kill babies or whatever, and the taxpayer to give him money to kill babies. You know, when they fucking lock hands and look into the camera and smile. She was on top of that shit. So fucking bless her heart for that shit. I fucking heard bless her heart. There's like bless your heart apparently is like a passive aggressive thing to say in like the South. It's like yeah, at best it's pitying you, at worst it's basically just saying fuck you, you know. I remember one of my coworkers at my workplace told me about that, and I was like, oh shit, I better keep an eye out for that, you know. That shit's kind of frustrating to deal with, you know, like that type of passive aggression where you can't really respond to it. You just kind of forced to take the L and hold it. That type of shit pisses me off. You know, that's not like Southern hospitality, you know. It's like basically, like it is anywhere that's like known for being like very polite. It's like, yeah, they're polite to your face, you know, but behind closed doors, it's all bets are off. Same thing with Japan, you know. Everyone's talking about how Japan's always so polite, but they're fucking nasty. Some of them. And obviously, you know, it varies from person to person, but basically everyone will be polite to your face, you know, unless they're like a fucking street thug. And even then, I don't know if there's that many of those, especially not nowadays. Nor, I think generally too, they'd probably be nice to foreigners. You know, I know that's the deal with like the Yakuza, is that they only really fuck with Japanese people. Foreigners tend to get off pretty light, even by Japanese standards. But, yeah, no, I mean, it's just like, you know, you never, everyone will be polite to your face, but, you know, there's always a chance that they'll fucking hate you deep down, I guess. So long as you're, like, not that familiar with them, you know. Obviously, I'm speaking from an outsider perspective, but I don't think that's that controversial of a thing to say. That sounds generally true to what I've seen. I really try to, like, weigh things like that, you know, in my mind when it comes to trying to, like, look into the culture from the outside. You got to be careful not to make presumption or, you know, too many presumptions about how things work. You don't just sound like a fucking dumbass, because if you genuinely don't know, then, like, you know, why even speaking on it like you have any authority, you know? So I try to avoid acting like I know things that I don't. Honestly, acting like I know trying to not act like I know things that I don't has probably been like one of my biggest issues in life. I just have like, I've kind of, as a result of school, just like being like a 60 person like max size grade at my middle school, because it was a Catholic school and where most of the kids are fucking not that smart. You know, I developed a real fucking know-it-all personality. Honestly, I think the reason why I was so hard working in middle school too, well, actually part of it is that I got put in my room for a straight week back in elementary school for getting an F on a math test, or on my report card, actually. I got an F in math during like the trimester or whatever. But yeah, the deal was that I think also part of the reason why I worked so hard back in middle school was because I kind of got off on like feeling better than people. So just in general, I've kind of like been dealt like a weird hand in that regard, in terms of like how I've, well, dealt a weird hand when I say that I got off on being smarter than other people, but you know, I was a kid, so you could argue that's the hand I got dealt. And honestly, I kind of wish I still had that attitude, because maybe then I'd actually work harder, but I'm kind of fucked. I'm thinking about it now in terms of like school, bro. I have not turned in like any homework this semester for Japanese. Like I turned in like the first few classes and I stopped. And I think it's fine because, you know, language classes are designed to sort of just push you through. And my professor has already said that it's okay to turn in work late. But yeah, no, he's gonna be getting like a fucking fat lump sum of papers at the end of towards the end of the semester here. Which I feel kind of bad about, but I feel like if I get him in soon enough, it's not that big of a deal for him. I'll be writing in pretty simple Japanese. And, yeah. He hasn't even said anything. That's the crazy part to me. He literally just puts it on the canvas like, yeah, I can accept work late. And, like, I was like, okay, I bet. I think there was an essay due, too. I didn't turn that shit in either. But I don't know if that's gonna have the same leniency. I would have to hope. It does. But, yeah, I'll be turning in a fat stack of like 20 sheets of paper at the end of the semester. And you'll be like, oh, thank you. And like I said, like, I think so long as I don't turn it in as like on like the last day, like as long as I don't like genuinely worry him with how close I'm cutting it, it will probably be fine. You know, chill teachers like that exist. Like I remember back in high school, one of the computer science one of the computer science teachers was pretty lax with how people turned in their homework, and he would literally accept, you know, up to the end of the semester. So I'm chilling, I think. I'm chilling, I'm good. There's my shitty Trump impression, but yeah, I think I'm fine so long as I do get the stuff in. But the real problem there is that as a result of not doing the homework, I also really haven't been studying much at all. And there's so many fucking kanji in like every single class when we like read, you know, something. So that's you know, that's slightly problematic in that it's obvious that we're to the point where I'm supposed to sort of be doing my own studying outside of class in order to, like, you know, get good at everything. So yeah, we'll take it day by day. I certainly have to start studying at some point, but the nice thing is, even at the worst, even at the fucking absolute worst scenario here, I can literally just like translate the stories, figure out what I want to say about them, and then, you know, write the answers in Japanese, you know? I can basically just translate things to English once and then I'm scot-free. So I'm not pressed. I'm not pressed. At least not too hard. Oh, you're legend by me. I'm kind of fucking sickened. I just remember there was a fucking video of a North Korean girl and like a South Korean guy like doing like a video where like the guy would like list like the guy would say words and see if the North Korean girl knows it. And he was just like literally saying like brand names, like Dunkin' Donuts and Starbucks and McDonald's. And she's like, no, I haven't heard of these words. And she's like, could they not have like gotten other loan words? Like that has to be rage bait, right? No way they're literally just like saying like, oh, here's words you never heard of, and then saying brand names for like a minute. No way that's real. Fuck the orange, bro. It's gonna fucking kill me here. It's actually gonna kill me! That's why I always knock it off at the beginning. You underestimate the orange once, and that's what it does to you. Dude, Gandor's voice in the new fucking Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom trailer was, I'm gonna fucking come, I think. Diogenes has fallen, millions must climb. That good one, yeah, okay, that's exactly how I'd say it. I'd rather drink gasoline out of a dead beaver's asshole than play this fucking game anymore. Then he, like, takes it out. Throws it against the wall, shoots it, you know. Typical AVGN happenings. Then Bugs Bunny comes in. Oh, sorry, small chungus, I forgot. Nice. Oh, actually, I was so close to making that jump properly there. Whoa. I'm surprised that. Oh, bad ending. Wait, am I getting the bad ending here? Hold on, wait, here. Shut up. Shut up, music. Shut up. I've never gotten the bad ending before, so we're gonna take advantage. Well, it's bad ending time, guys. I've literally never gotten it before. Gotta somehow fling myself. Come on. I think I can actually climb out of this. Maybe. Maybe? Oh, okay, here we go. Down, down. Keep going. Nice. Bad ending. We got it. Okay, here it goes. Shh.
Oh, you got so close. But this is past mending. You got the bad ending.
Let's go. I've literally never done that before. Well, that's certainly a way to end the runs for today. You know, honestly, that's probably more satisfying than getting anything else here.